Welcome back to Padel Smash TV News, where we cover the stories shaping paddle on the court, in the business, and around the world.
This week, Padel shows up in Denver, Delhi, Delray Beach, the Hamptons, London, Egypt, Valencia, and across the global business landscape.
Ace Padel is bringing another major U.S. club to the map. The Miami-based operator is opening a new location in Denver's RiNo's district, inside the former Great Divide brewing space. The club is expected to bring paddle into one of Denver's most active lifestyles and entertainment neighborhoods, which tells you a lot about where the sport is going. This is not just about adding courts. It is about building paddle into social districts, food and beverage destinations, and premium community spaces. For the U.S. market, Denver matters because growth cannot only happen in Miami, New York, or L.A. The next phases of American paddle will be decided by how well it travels into new cities.
Luxury paddle continues to grow in South Florida. The Seagate in Delray Beach is teaming up with Ustero Paddle to bring sports into a premium hospitality and lifestyle setting. This is another example that paddle is becoming more than a court booking. At the high end of the market, paddle is being connected to wellness, hotels, private clubs, food and beverages, and social experiences. This is important because South Florida is becoming one of the clearest models for American paddle. It's not just about participation, it's about lifestyle. And when resorts and hospitality like brands like this step into paddle, it makes the whole experience completely different for their guests and members.
No Strings is adding financial leadership at a very important stage. Jonathan Peters has joined the U.S. paddle business as a fractional CFO ahead of the company's Series A funding round. That move says a lot about where paddle companies are heading. Early growth can be powered by enthusiasm, founders, and demand, but real scale requires capital strategy, financial control, legal planning, and disciplined expansion. This is a shift that's happening across the industry. Paddle businesses are not just trying to open clubs anymore, they are trying to become fundable, repeatable, and scalable companies. No Strings adding a CFO role is another sign that the business side of paddle is getting more serious.
Padel and pickleball are getting a major cultural moment in India. After launching in Mumbai, and this is a tongue twister, Pinkvilla Pickle Padel Party is heading to Delhi for a second edition on June 27th at REPP in Mirali. The event is built around sport, entertainment, networking, creators, and brand activation. This is the real story. This is not just about a traditional tournament. It is about a lifestyle event, racket sports at the center of the experience. For paddle, that matters because new audiences often discover the sport through culture before competition. India is a huge, massive market, and events like this shows how paddle can enter through celebrities, creators, and the social energy.
Paddle is heading back to the Hamptons with a purpose. Paddle for a Purpose returns to Bridgehampton on August 1st, bringing together Pro-Am tournament and a poolside celebration to benefit the Brady Hunter Foundation. The foundation supports causes tied to animals, children, food insecurity, and the environment. This is a strong example of where paddle can sit in a luxury and charitable space. The sport is social, approachable, and event-friendly, which makes it a natural fit for fundraising. But the bigger takeaway is this. Paddle can bring people together around more than competition. It can create impact, community, and a reason to show up that goes way beyond the score.
Premier Padel and International Padel Federation are already looking ahead to 2027. The two organizations have outlined changes focused on players' welfare and sustainable growth of the professional game. The details include adjustments around qualifying draws, ranking counting tournaments, and ranking points. But the bigger message is about balance. The professional calendar has grown quickly, sometimes super quickly, and the sport now has to protect both opportunity and athletes' health and welfare. That is what mature sports have to do. They cannot only chase more events, they have to build a system players can survive, fans can enjoy and follow, and organizers can sustain. For professional paddle, this is part of the growing up process. Head had a visible role at the Valencia P1. The brand served as the official ball partner for the tournament, with a special Valencia Premier Padel design tied to the event. This might sound like a smaller sponsorship story, but it's not. What it matters is the equipment brands are part of how the professional tours build identity. The ball affects the pace of the play, the player experience, and the way matches feel on the court. For fans, it is also a branding moment. Every close-up, every serve, every slow-motion replay puts the equipment into the story. As Padel grows, expect more of this. More official partners, more event-specific product designs, and more gear brands using program to shape the market.
Padel's winning over the legal world in London. Financial news reports that major city law firms are using Padel for recruitment, client events, and team building. Firms including Citi, Austin, Clifford Chance, Latham and Watkins, Arthurs, and others have all been connected to Padel events or programming. This makes perfect sense. Padel is competitive enough to be fun, but social enough to make conversations easy. For companies trying to connect teams, entertain clients, or attract younger professionals, this is a powerful combination. This is another sign that Padel is becoming a business networking tool, not just a sport people play after work, a sport businesses are using to build relationships.
The worldwide Padel boom is becoming a brand race. The Times reports that UK trademark filings for Padel-related brands jumped 148%, reaching 270 registrations in the year ending on March 2026. That is huge, and that's a big signal. When entrepreneurs and companies rush to protect names, logos, concepts, it means they see commercial value coming. This is what happens when a sport moves from niche activity to business category. Clubs, apparel brands, tech platforms, training systems, events, and media concepts all want a position before the market gets crowded. For the UK, this message is very clear. Padel is not just growing in participation, it is growing as an industry. People are trying to own a piece of it.
Africa is stepping into the Junior Padel spotlight. The FIP Junior African Padel Cup is scheduled for June 15th through the June 20th in Egypt, giving the continent a major youth development event on the international calendar. This is the kind of story that matters for the long-term health for the sport. Global growth is not only about professional stars and luxury clubs. It is about creating pathways for young players in more regions of the world. When junior events expand into new continents, the sports become more balanced, more competitive, and more sustainable. For Africa, that event is not just a tournament. It is a signal that the next generation of Padel talent can come from anywhere.
The FIP Tour continues to show how wide the competition map is becoming. While Premier Padel gets most of the attention and the accolades, the broader FIP calendar is creating international opportunities across multiple regions through the world. This week, the tour picture stretches across places like Valencia, Shanghai, Palermo, Slovenia, Lanzarote in Canary Islands, and much more. The global spread matters. The sport needs more than one-stop stage. It needs competitive layers underneath, where players can develop, earn points, travel, and build players' experiences. This is how a professional ecosystem gets stronger and bigger. The headline is not just where the biggest stars are playing. It is how many places now have meaningful paddle competitions on their calendar.
Hey, this Coffee and Talk is powered by Lavazza Gold Selection. But let's talk about Valencia now.
Valencia P1, what a tournament. We're getting week after week amazing tournaments, amazing results, amazing controversies.
Amazing drama.
Amazing drama. It doesn't get any better than this. The soap opera of paddle, it's here. So let's jump right into it. The big men's final. Coello and Tapia pull a roller coaster final. Simple. 7-6, winning by just a few mistakes of Chingotto and Galán. They won the tiebreak, fair and square. Second set, they went down 5-0.
Yes.
Okay, they ended up losing the set 6-1.
They were on fire.
Chingotto and
They
Galán,
both were on.
they were on fire.
Yeah. That's what happens when they're both on, man.
Yes, and then the third set, oh, what a set.
They were also on.
Yes.
They were on. I mean, they were, wow. They were at, what, 5-2 at one point.
Well, let's go about the details. Chingotto and Galán, they were 5-2 up. 5-2, serving for the match.
And they were playing amazing.
Incredible.
Amazing.
Somehow, and Coello, Tapia, you didn't feel the energy there, but somehow they were able to turn things around.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I mean, my perspective is that I think they didn't get beat. They just gave that set away. I mean, the crucial mistakes at the crucial times, Chingotto and Galán, they made those crucial mistakes.
Yes,
which were very, very important.
But
and once you get broken at once, it motivates now the other team, and now it puts doubt in their minds.
But they served twice to win the set, the tournament. Yes. They served twice, and they ended up losing the two serves. They were pushed to the tiebreak.
But like I said, most of those points that were crucial were their mistakes.
Yes,
well, not that Coello and Tapia won as winners.
Yes.
So,
and if we see the stats, I mean, Chingotto made, almost, I think it's 21 unforced errors. For Chingotto, forehand side, that's too many mistakes.
For a normal person, that's fine. But for Chingotto, which is rarely makes any mistakes,
at that level, where in difference, Galán hit 48 winners. That is huge. Yeah. So pretty much they balance that out. But what I think Coello and Tapia did is step up the game. And the amazing part.
I don't know about that. I think it was more on Chingotto. They let that slide. They gave that tournament away by making mistakes.
Yes.
I think if Chingotto and Galán were consistent like they were at the beginning, it's second set in the beginning of the third set, and continue that way, that would be it.
Yeah, I think
that'll be 6-2 for sure.
Galán and Chingotto had a few star points winning in the third set, and that gave them the edge to go up 5-2.
Sure.
They had a few star points, so that was a crucial point. The match was very close, but the amazing part, they go into the tiebreak. Galán Chingotto take a 5-1 lead serving for the match, for the tournament, for the title. And then it just vanishes.
Yeah.
They start making mistakes.
Yeah.
They
gave it away.
They give it away. They gave that tournament away. Yeah. They were so mad. You can feel it on that body language.
It's frustrating.
They had it. They were feeling it.
Going into the tiebreaker, they were also 5-1. 5-1 in the tiebreaker.
Yeah. I mean, they had it. They had it 5-1.
In the tiebreaker. Okay, you screw up, you let them come back. In the tiebreaker now, it's 5-1. You need to make 2 more points.
That's
it.
Yeah,
and they couldn't do it, and they just made mistakes. I think there was some crucial mistakes there.
I mean, the rivalry for 2026 is getting hotter and hotter. I mean, it's getting more challenging.
You can't give Coello and Tapia a little space. No. You can't give them an inch. No. That's it. Forget it.
Yeah,
they'll capitalize that and they'll punish you, and that's kind of what happened.
Yeah. Finally, on the women's sides, we got, once again, amazing performance on the previous tournament last week. Sánchez and Andrea Ustero, they made it last week. The previous week, they played the longest match in the history of Premier Padel.
Over 4 hours.
Over 4 hours and 12 minutes. They made it to the final. They were dead tired. They lost, but now they redeemed themselves by winning. The finals versus Claudia Fernandez and Sofia Araujo, 6-4, 3-6, 6-2. Amazing performance.
Yes,
truly spectacular.
Well, let's talk about the big ups. Not the upset, but kind of an upset, I guess you could say, with Bea Gonzalez and Paula, and them losing to...
On the quarterfinals.
Yeah, Martita and her partner. I mean, that was unexpected. But they were so happy. Yeah. They celebrated that if that was the finals. Because you could say that pretty much could have been the final.
Well, and Gemma Tria and Delphi Brea too, also losing in the semifinals versus Claudia Fernandez and Sofia Araujo.
You're right. That was
yes. I mean,
right.
this is good to see how close is the level
Yeah.
at the top of the female, rankings with the Claudia Fernandez, Sofia Araujo, Andrea Ustero, Ari Sánchez, Bea Gonzalez, Paulita, and Delphi and Gemma. Gemma and Delphi, they're going to have a tough time, keeping up that level.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
one hiccup and you're out of the tournament.
Yeah, there's so many good couples there. It's gonna be a good year.
Yeah.
It's already been a good year.
Which is not the same on the men's side, where Chingotto, Galán, and Coello, Tapia, they're dominating the top ranking.
But I think if they get their stuff together, Augsburger and Leo and Lebrón should.
I mean, Mike Jangwans and Stupa, same thing, but they're not there. They're not clicking. It's amazing. But so now let's move into the drama.
Oh boy.
The soap opera, the Lebrón drama. Playing the semifinals.
So there's been drama ever since they split, or even during the time they split.
They don't like each other.
Lebrón is just always brings drama.
We know they don't follow each other on TikTok or Instagram or anything like that. They just hate each other.
He brings drama. He cannot be quiet. He has his own opinion on everything. And so I see I see Galán a little more like laid back, and so whenever there's a situation, forget it. So they're tense. That game was tense, and
the comments that Lebrón was making during the match.
Well, let's go before that. What happened was that Leo hit a shot a little too high, and I think Galán was just tenth of a second too late, but he goes for it anyways, and he ends up hitting it pretty high. The ball was
going
out. Yeah, but ended up hitting Augsburger in the chest.
Yes,
not enough where he's hurt him and anything, but enough where like, hey, that was a miss hit, or he was definitely off. Of course, and makes the point.
Yes,
so Lebrón takes it a little bit more like personal.
Well, now
he says, "Don't worry, I'm gonna."
No, hit him in the chest. Hit him in the chest next time. So he. I mean, you can actually listen and you can hear on the television, Lebrón saying to Augsburger, "Next time, whatever, hit him on the chest."
Yeah.
Go and aim. I mean, that's
for sportsmanship.
For sportsmanship.
I mean, I understand you're in a passion and everything's there, whatever, but you hold yourself back from it. And I think he can't. It's very hard for him to do that. It's very emotional.
Yeah.
Very emotional, which creates great drama and great TV. You know what I'm saying? We need a villain always in something, right? So that's first. And he also wants to, support his partner. Don't worry, we'll get him back. I mean, you could say it in a different way, but that's what came out. And they don't broadcast it, but you can analyze and see in his mouth what he says.
Well, then Lebrón, during the point, he made a few other comments. They were playing the point, midpoint. He screamed at Galán. Well, you jump down.
Well, what's important there is that it's during the game. So, for instance,
during the point,
Leo smashed it, and as it was going, to hit the ground, that's when Lebron's yelling that.
Yeah,
like egging him on, like you're never gonna get that.
Yeah,
jump now, and during the game, during a point, I mean, that's poor. You can call it interfering almost.
Yeah.
You can't egg people on. You can't yell certain things while the point is there.
Yeah.
Afterwards you can celebrate or whatever, but the point was there. So.
I mean,
Galán is a gentleman, and Galán was one that didn't, respond. He went to the ref and just told him, "Hey, look, can you tell? I don't want any noise or anybody yelling at me while I'm playing the point."
Yeah,
which is the proper thing to do, because that could have been all on war there.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of respect to Leo Augsburger, because most of the time he acts like a gentleman, but Lebrón just can't. He's too emotional.
Yeah,
just way too emotional.
And during the switchovers, the Lebrón and Augsburger, they were complaining to each other. The Agustín Gómez Elingo, their coach, he was trying to be sort of like the coach referee in between, telling them, guys, shut up, concentrate, help each other.
It's gonna affect your game.
Yeah, it's gonna affect your game. So they were going at each other during the changeovers, which is toxic, because now your partner is complaining about you, you're complaining about your partner. you have to be in sync. If not, you can't really work together.
I think that's the biggest problem, with Lebrón, is that whenever he's playing with somebody, his emotions get in the way. He's saying things that he probably regrets later on, or what he really feels, but you're not really helping your partner. You're not moving your partner. Your partner then gets stressed, makes more mistakes. And it just doesn't work. So, if you're winning, like, Galán and Lebrón were winning for years and years, you're going to put up with that.
Yeah.
But if you're not winning, you're just going to move on, But, I feel that they're a pretty strong team. And I think, if the mindset's there, while they're playing the game, I think they can be a good competitors, there at the top with Coello and Tapia,
Amazing, guys. Can't wait for the next tournament and the next drama.
Not even that. When they left, when the game was done, the game was done, Galán and Chingo, they won. They go and shake hands with Leo, and then when they go, when Lebrón comes out to shake hands with Galán, he just puts his hand and he pulls it away and walks away. And and then Lebron's trying to laugh it off, but you know what? I think Galán has had it up to here with him, and dealing with him for so many years,
Well, everyone, can't wait to see where the saga goes. The soap opera of paddle is going. See you next time.
That is why we keep watching the business side of paddle, because the biggest stories are not always just who wins, but who is building the future.
From Denver to Delhi, from Egypt to Valencia, this week showed that paddle is not just expanding, it is becoming part of the culture.
And as always, we're covering the sport from Miami to the world.
Like this video, subscribe to Padel Smash TV, and tell us which story we should go deeper next time.
And remember, from Miami to the world,
this is Padel Smash TV.